Now, we mentioned the rookie quarterbacks, but there is one in particular I do want to point out. Where is this? There we go. So coming from college, a national championship winning quarterback in the most recent years has not been a hot commodity. We've seen Stetson Bennett be drafted in like the third, fourth, fifth round. I mean, it ain't the first round. So you're looking at it and you're like, okay, well, Stetson Bennett has X amount of national championships. Why isn't he drafted higher?
And how old is Stetson Bennett again?
He's old. I know he's old. He's probably older. He's probably like 25 or 26 at this point, and he got 2 years in the NFL. I understand that. But you got a dude like JJ McCarthy. He's young. He's up and coming. He has Jim Harbaugh over him. You know, he's learned from some of the best. But you win the national championship, you say, okay, if I can win on this level, can I win in the next level? And this is some of the things teams are asking themselves. If we bring this guy in, can he win on the next level? And it's a risk you have to take. Well, the Minnesota Vikings at pick number 10 took a risk. And they drafted Michigan quarterback JJ McCarthy. Well, we just said JJ McCarthy played really good. He played good. He played better than what most people were expecting. They didn't expect him to do all the stuff he was doing. Well, JJ McCarthy, almost playing a lot of the game, he gets injured. Well, we know that JJ McCarthy suffered a knee injury. Well, what's going to happen there? JJ McCarthy now has to undergo knee surgery, got a torn meniscus. Nate, I don't know. I know that when someone tears a meniscus and they don't get surgery, it's usually like a week or two off. But this dude's getting surgery. He's not going to come back and wait a whole season, obviously, and then his knee maybe get worse. I've seen times where people's knee get worse because they didn't get meniscus surgery. So he's going ahead and biting the bullet, getting the surgery before the actual season starts. How long can we see JJ McCarthy out for? And is the Vikings, is their season over?
No, come on now. Come on. We're not going to say that. We can't base that based off of an unproven rookie. That's first and foremost. You can't I base that off an unproven rookie that has never played an NFL down before. So we're going to eliminate that whole aspect of thinking that the season's over for the Vikings because JJ McCarthy went down. This is part of the NFL, and it's the next man up mentality. It really is the next man up. Uh, he's going to be down for some time, maybe between 6 to 8 weeks. You want that knee to heal properly and whatnot. So, but this is the question I have. Was he for sure named QB1?
I don't think so. I heard that Sam Darnold was going to be their QB1, but that was entering the preseason. I don't know if it was going to change when the regular season started based on what they've seen during the preseason. We've seen what happens when Sam Darnold starts for a team. It's not like Sam Darnold's going to take you over. Sam Darnold might get you 6-7 wins, but he ain't going to get you enough wins to take you to the playoffs. I mean, I know it's not college. I understand that. But JJ McCarthy, we know what he can do per college. We don't know what he can do in the NFL level, taking that into consideration. Can JJ McCarthy make something happen in Minnesota? He played with a very dominant run offense. He didn't have to pass the ball all the time, but now you go into an offense like Minnesota, who is very much air raid. You got a dude named Jay Jettas, Justin Jefferson, who was consistently getting 1,400, 1,600, 1,800 yards. He was only getting up and up and up in yards until he got injured. Well, that's because of their air raid offense. Why does Kirk Cousins always get 4,000-yard seasons? Because of an air raid offense. I mean, you take J.J. McCarthy, and he did look good this preseason game, but you just told me, Nate, in the last segment, that these teams do not take their full offense and let those rookies undergo the full pressure of their offense. They take taste. They take pieces. And did J.J. McCarthy look good in the Vikings offense, or did J.J. McCarthy look good in a piece of the Vikings offense?
It's a lot. We can say a lot because this is one preseason game. Keyword emphasis preseason. There was no game plan. There was no scheming. There was nothing. No defensive coordinator throwing no exotic looks at you, and blitzes and so forth to confuse you. No, this was again another training camp practice that happened to be a preseason game. Um, Guys look good, but that's all we can. This is not week one. This is not week one where, again, we're going to game plan. We're going to game plan against, for example, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's their D coordinator is my former D coordinator, Terrell Austin. And this is what Terrell Austin likes to do. This is the scheme he likes to run. This is the defenses and whatnot. He likes to pressure this percentage, this amount of plays per game and whatnot. Again, you're not game planning for that. You just go out there to go play. We cannot mix this up. I mean, we give the credit where the credit is due. These guys look good, but again, this is not a game plan. These games don't matter. Like, they don't count towards the win and loss column.
No, they don't. This is it's what we can see. We can tell if somebody's going to be promising, and I use that word loosely. I mean, I say promising like you were going to be able to count on this dude, and maybe there is that potential. I mean, there's been guys that have balled out in the preseason that just might not make the 53-man roster. Let me give you a name, Nate. Will Grier. What do you know about Will Grier? Last year, the preseason last season, he balled out. That dude looked like a NFL starting quarterback. But whenever the 53-man roster happened, Dallas decided, we don't want this dude in our quarterback room. They didn't take him. He didn't make the 53-man roster. And people were confused. Like, you had a dude that balled out on every level of your preseason list. He checked every single box, but yet he didn't make your 53-man roster.
You cannot. I've said this to you. There are 32 teams in the NFL. One team, you may not fit the scheme, and one team what they want to do, but there's another 31. You may fit another team perfectly. And that's what the reality of it is. You got players that again, they may not fit in this system right here, but they go somewhere else, and it's like, okay, this is the system that they needed all along, and you see them flourish.
And I really hope some of these dudes do flourish. But I honestly, I think when I think of JJ McCarthy and that Vikings offense, I think of a square peg in a round hole. Because you're taking a dude that knows a run offense because there's not pressure on him. Well, Nate, there's two things that can happen with pressure. And I think you said this on the show before. One busts pipes and one makes diamonds. And there was never any pressure on JJ McCarthy to bust a pipe or make a diamond. He was always consistent. He was really good Ruby, but he wasn't the unbreakable. He wasn't what people acquire. Well, now he's in an offense where there's a lot of pressure on him. They don't have a running back. They don't have a big running back that's gonna. Well, they got Aaron Jones now. We'll see how he goes, but I think they bring him in. See, a lot of these guys know who they're going to draft beforehand. Mm-hmm. Before we even get weeks, maybe months before we can get to the draft, this is the guy they want. And so when they bring in Aaron Jones, they're thinking, okay, I think they're going to game plan for JJ McCarthy before the draft. We're going to bring in Aaron Jones because we know what he can do in college. We have set up an air raid offense in Minnesota. If we bring JJ McCarthy, this square peg, JJ McCarthy, to our round hole air raid offense, and with Alexander Madison or whoever they had starting last year, it's going to mess up. But if we bring somebody like Aaron Jones, who we know can play football, we know can run the ball, we saw it in the playoffs last season, helped the Packers tremendously in that postseason. Let's bring Aaron Jones in. Let's let Aaron Jones be JJ McCarthy's Blake Corum and see if JJ McCarthy's going to be a busted pipe or a diamond that Minnesota can cherish for years.